Okay, I might have to make a couple of videos, like different parts, and you'll just have to click on the part that you need to watch, because I've tried to make videos on my phone before that I upload on YouTube, but the clips are too long and it won't send, and I have to edit it, and it's just a hassle, so I might do it in a few different parts. Basically, just a quick overview of what's going on. I've always wanted to make instructional videos. I don't know why, just something I wanted to do. I thought I'd be helpful with it. I've always found that I'm a very detailed person and I explain things well. So, without going into this too much depth, basically, I recently got my daughter a 10-gallon aquarium because I've bought her a couple of goldfish, and being uneducated, a goldfish and a betta actually, and I've had a fish bowl and I did that whole thing. Well, from what I've learned, they're not adequate whatsoever for fish, like at all. It's just like a death sentence basically. So I did research over the past few weeks. I mean, every single day that I can, I'm online and I'm researching things on how to properly take care of fish. And so, I mean, they have smaller tanks, 2-gallon, I think, 5 and something like that. But this is a 10. It's the best size that you would want to start out with. Anything less than that, it's really just a waste of money because you can only have one fish in it, maybe 2, depending on what it is. So I figured I'd do a 10-gallon because the rule is that everybody says that has a fish tank, you're supposed to have 1 inch of fish for every gallon of water. So if it's a 10-gallon tank, obviously that's 10 inches of fish. But you have to account for when they're full grown and not for when you first get them, because they're going to grow, most likely. So right now, I have a 10-gallon. When I got the 10-gallon, they say to let it cycle, which basically means, very abbreviated, which basically means that you want to let it run for a couple of weeks before you put any fish in, because it needs to adjust, it needs to get all the ammonia, the nitrates, all the chemicals adjusted before you add fish, because all they'll do is they'll last 24 hours and die. When I first got the tank, I got a couple of neons, but they were babies. I thought they were going to be bigger. Yeah, that was a nightmare, because when I first got the tank, I got 4, I think it was 4 baby neon fish. I was like, wow, these are really small. So I threw them in the tank, went to bed, woke up in the morning. Oh no, there were 6, that's right. Threw them in the tank, woke up in the morning, came over, and I was like, okay, 2 were belly up, and the other 4 were in the filter. They're so tiny they got stuck in the filter. So I was mortified. I'm like, great, so now any fish that I get is basically going to end up with the same fate. So I was relatively scared of that repeating itself. So I did a lot of research, and I took my time, and I didn't just throw fish in this time. So that's basically the overview of where I'm at right now. I'm already at a 3-minute video just from talking, so I should probably start the second video and start explaining things and less of me talking. But you can always comment if you have any questions or message me, and I can answer them for you. I just find that fish are like a really interesting hobby. I've just recently gotten into it. It's mainly, the tank's mainly for my daughter, but since there's so much involved, it's pretty much like it's for me. So yeah, so I'll start the next video, and then we'll go from there, and I'll start the process of how to clean a fish tank, which is ultimately what I'm trying to do here.